Welcome back. I turned off the video for part two. Maybe it'll help with the lag a little bit. And um, okay, so we were on number 10. Of course, midline here, since that's a -4, will be -4. -4 is your midline. Amplitude, again, it's the positive absolute value of that number, so 2. So -4 up 2 would be -2. Down 2 would be -6. And then 2/3 is a fraction, so to get the period, 2 pi over 1 times the reciprocal, 3 over 2. So that's going to be multiply 6 pi over 2 times 1 is 2. And that reduces to 3 pi. And my period is 3 pi. Half of 3 pi is 3 pi over 2. So that would be 3 pi over 4. So now you're counting by 3/4. That'd be 3 over 4, 6 over 4, 9 over 4. It's a negative sign function. So it starts in the middle, but negative sign goes down to the minimum first, back to the midline, up to the maximum, back to the midline. All right, so like I said at the end of the last video, and it's first of this one, there is a quiz on all this sine and cosine stuff with amplitude, midline, period, maximum, and minimum. It's got 20 questions. Do your best, and you can retake it if you're not happy with your score. Still laggy. I just have to close that whole program. Ooh, not responding. Oh, there it is. All right. So midline is 10. No number here, so it's a 1. Amplitude is 1. So if 10 is in the middle, then 1 up is 11. 9 is the minimum. 1/5, again a fraction, so 2 pi over 1 times 1/5 would be 5 over 1. That's just 10 pi. So 10 pi is the period, 5 times as long as a normal one. Half of 10 pi is 5 pi. Half of 5 pi, since you can't take half of 5 without a decimal, just put it over 2. So now you count by fives. 5 over 2, 10 over 2, 15 pi over 2. It's a cosine positive, so it's going to start up here at the maximum, to the midline, minimum, midline, maximum, and there we go. All right. Number 12. Midline, -2. Amplitude is 7. So if -2 is the middle, when you add 7, you'd be at +5. You subtract 7, you're at -9. And then the period, there's a pi there with the x, so it's 2 pi divided by pi, which is just, the pi's cancel out, 2. So this just has a period of 2. So half would be 1, 1 over 2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, then 4 over 2. It's sine positive, start in the middle, maximum, midline, minimum, back to the midline, and that same positive sine curve. So when you have a pi, it's going to end up canceling out with that 2 pi, and you're just going to get a number for your period instead of something with pi. All right, 13. We got a midline, -6. Amplitude is 8. So if -6 is in the middle, when you add 8, you'd be at +2. Subtract 8, that's -14. Pi over 3, again, you can do that since it's a fraction, 2 pi over 1 times the reciprocal, which would be 3 over pi. And again, those pi's will cancel. 2 times 3 is 6. So it's going to be 6. And half of 6 is 3. And half of 3 is 3 over 2. So again, count by threes. 3 over 2, 6 over 2, 9 over 2. It is a negative cosine function, so it's going to start at the minimum, midline, maximum, midline, minimum. All right. Number 14 on your homework. All right, 14, 0 is the midline. Even though it's a negative, it's still 1 for the amplitude. So 0, 1, -1. 5x, so it'd be 2 pi over 5, which doesn't reduce or anything. So 2 pi over 5. Half of 2 pi over 5, you can do half of the 2, so that's just going to be pi over 5. Then half of pi over 5 would be pi over 10, double the denominator. 1 over 10, 2 over 10, 3 pi over 10. Then that would be 4 over 10, which would reduce to the 2/5. It's a negative cosine, so it's going to start at the minimum, to the midline, maximum, back to the midline, to the minimum. And the negative cosine. All right, 2 more. Number 15. So wait, that's 15. 17 is the midline. 12 is the amplitude. It's a negative sign, but that just gives us direction. So 17, if I go up 12, that would be at 29. If I subtract 12, that is 5. So the minimum's 5, maximum's 29. Period is 2 pi over 6 pi. Pi's would reduce, and 2 over 6 reduces to 1/3. So this has a period of 1/3. Half of a third is 1/6. Half of a sixth is 1/12. That'd be 1 over 12, 2 over 12, 3 over 12, but 3 over 12 reduces to 1/4. It's a negative sign. It'll start at the midline, minimum, midline, maximum, midline, and go down. There you go. All right, one more, then you can take your quiz. Good luck on your quiz. Do your best. Remember, all assignments, quizzes, and stuff, they're all informal grades. There will be no formal grades for the time being, so everything counts equally. So still do good on your quiz. You won't have any formal grades to bring up or down. Midline is 6. Amplitude is 15. And the period is 2 pi over 1 times, reciprocal would be 5 over 3 pi. only the pi's would cancel out. 2 times 5 is 10 over 1 times 3 is 3, and that does not reduce. So the period is 10 thirds, 10 over 3. Half of 10 over 3 would be 5 over 3, because you could take half of the 10. Now I can't take half of 5, so I just double the denominator. So it'd be 5 over 6. Counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15 over 6 would go here, but that reduces. Because 15 over 6, you can divide them both by 3 and get 5 over 2. So that's 5 over 2. It's a negative cosine. Oh, our midline is at 6. Add 15 to 6 and get 21. Subtract 15 and get negative 9. And starts at the bottom, midline, to the maximum, back to the midline, to the minimum. And that's a negative cosine curve. All right, so like I said, that's the end of that. Check your work. And then there is a quiz next. Do that. Do your best. Retake it if you're not happy with your score. And this will be the quiz. There won't be anything new posted until Wednesday. So we'll post something new for you on Wednesday. All right. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Again, remind or through Canvas or through my email. Ask me questions. Get a hold of me if you need anything. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.